Hey everyone, it's Keela here, and today I'm sharing a layout and process video for Scrap Squad. This week's Scraplift is in the top right hand corner, and I've also added the link in the description below. If you're not already a member of the Scrap Squad Facebook group, then please do join us. We have lots of inspiration from the team as well as members, and we have albums like jam-packed full of gorgeous layouts, so come and check those out. Now I love this week's lift. I don't think we've had anything like this one before. I've pulled out the school, I think it's called School Days, collection by Simple Stories. It's the latest like school collection that they brought out this year, and I've decided to go for like a black and white with pops of red as a colour scheme for my page. And the photos that I've pulled out, which are in the corner underneath the lift, are some photos I took of the kids on their first day back at school in September last year. And they actually returned to school in their school uniform. So I've got some other photo not in the school uniform, in their PE kits, because of the COVID and stuff, they had to go to school in the PE kits on PE days and in the uniform on non-PE days. So I took these photos of them in their PE kits, ready for the first day back at school after, the really big lockdown. And then I also took some photos the following day of them in their uniform, so I've got those left to scrap yet. And I've for my background paper, for my big thick border around my whole page, I've gone for this white paper with lots of text on it, and I think it's not words, it's just random letters of the alphabet. I'm not sure if it does go in alphabetical order. And then I've used some black cardstock and white cardstock to do the centre and then the border around that one. And then I'm now, I think I'm just cutting up my photos. I like to cut them down a little bit and add a white border around those. So that's what I'm doing now. And I needed to include these two photos on the same layout. I know the original has two photos and a gap in the middle for journaling. I don't have enough room to do that because I scrap on an A4 size, so I am going to miss that bit out, but I am going to include the two photographs. One was taken inside after they'd got dressed. I think they might have been ready to get the coats on to leave, and then the second one was taken outside of the house. And Darcy's got a little eye patch on. She wears her eye patch because she's got a lazy eye. So she's been patching now since she was, how old would she have been? I think she was about 18 months. 18 months old. She's been patching for quite a number of years, and she's like the patching master now. But we're seeing improvements every time she goes for an appointment. So it's working. It's doing something. I've matted my photos in the same black cardstock I used to mat my white cardstock. And now I'm pulling in some things from the collection itself. I've got one of the cut apart tags, which is kind of like a black chalkboard effect. And it's got a red circle around the hole. I'm thinking that's meant to be like the whole reinforcer piece. So I'm going to put that above my photograph. I know there isn't a tag on the original layout, but I do like to include these cut apart tags on my pages. And I'm going to include this kind of notebook print journaling piece underneath my photographs, just to bring a pop of red down to that part of the layout. And then I've got another like notebook piece that I'm going to tuck in at the bottom as well. So I am only pulling in things that are either black, white or red on this layout. And I think sometimes, especially if you're in a bit of a scrappy rut, or your mojo's not quite there, it is quite a good way of scrapbooking if you just focus on a couple of colours rather than, you know, trying to make all the colours work. Just by focusing on a few colours really limits your options, and I think it does help a page come together quite quickly. I was going to include this piece. I just wanted the phrase that says take note, but I couldn't get it to fit by the time I'd matted my photos. I'm now pulling in some embellishments. I've got the brads, these are the stick-on brads, I love these ones. I've also got a chipboard piece that says back to school. I don't think that makes it on the final page, but I'm just trying a few things out now. I've got some word pieces at the bottom. It says so much to learn, so little time. The brad says school. I'm just testing a few other things. I've got another word phrase sticker which says first day, which these photos were taken on the very first day back. And I've got a pencil, which is one of the form stickers. And I am going to use this as my title. I love how on the original layout there's a big title. So I'm going to use back to school, but I was going to use this on a previous layout. But I needed it to be black, so I'd used a Sharpie and coloured in the word school in black Sharpie, and then I didn't end up using it. Now the red would have worked perfectly on this layout, but I decided to colour the words back and to with a Sharpie as well, just so they match, and obviously being black it still works with the layout. I think now I'm starting to commit to the embellishments that I've brought in and starting to stick those down, popping a few things up on foam, adding some twine to my tag. I also like to distress the edges of the word phrase stickers as well. I think it just makes them coordinate a little bit better with the, you know, the texture on the papers, because all my papers have been distressed as well. And I don't have any like special distressing tool. I just use my scissors to distress things. And yeah, so I'm just popping, like I said, the word phrase stickers up on foam. I like to add lots of different levels throughout my page. I don't want everything to be kind of flat. I don't want everything to be popped up, but I do like, you know, to have lots of different levels. And I think it just makes a few things stand out that otherwise would kind of just blend in. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing now, just committing to everything, and I'm really liking how it's looking so far. So now I pull out some plastic just to put these on, just so I don't get any pen on my desk, and then I did go to try and get my Sharpie and it was gone. So I think I had to switch the camera off and go and have a look in my son's room, and he'd pinched my black Sharpie, and in fact I have two of them, and he'd pinched both. So so yeah, so I just showed a little bit of me colouring them in. I always do two layers of the black Sharpie, and I do this on lots of different you know, thickers and things. It works well on like the chipboard ones and the these foam ones with the kind of the chipboard on top. It works really well. And now I'm just going to finish off with some black splatters using some acrylic paint, which I've watered down. On the original layout, there's quite a lot of mixed media going on in the background. So splatters is kind of my way of adding a little bit of mixed media to my page. So yeah, so that's the layout finished. I think I do go quite heavy with these splatters and go a bit crazy. But there'll be some close-ups coming up in a second. And I will be back next week with another Scrap Squad Scraplift. Thank you for watching. Bye.